Toxic people will pollute everything around them. Don't hesitate, fumigate, Mandy Hell. Don't let negative and toxic people rent space in your head, raise the rent, and kick them out. Robert 2. In a toxic work environment, you have to be your own best advocate. Tom Rath. Hard work spotlights the character of people. Some turn up their sleeves, some turn up their noses, and some don't turn up at all. Sam Ewing.
Welcome to Lifing 101, a journey through life's experiences, challenges, and interpretations. An intriguing and soul-refining podcast that explores the countless twists of life. Get ready to be amused, enlightened, entertained, empowered, and inspired. Hosted by Tina C. Christian, your MC with the LPC, and guest co-host Lorenda McKinney, your MC with the PhD.
Welcome, lovely listeners, to an exciting episode of Lifing 101 podcast,
where we dive into life's little mysteries and offer you insights to help you lead a happier, more fulfilling life.
I'm your MC with the LPC, Tina C. Christian, navigating y'all through this journey up and down and all around on this emotional roller coaster we call life.
And I'm your MC with the PhD, Lorenda McKinney. So grab your favorite beverage, find a comfortable spot, sit back and relax while we embark on this restorative journey together.
Good morning, afternoon, or evening out there. So last week we talked about toxic traits and red flags, and we're on our Toxic Free 2024 series. So today we want to talk about toxic coworkers. So Doc.
Yeah. So last week we talked about toxic traits, and I'm sure that with those toxic traits, we can think of some toxic coworkers to match some of those traits.
You think?
Yes. And it's okay for them to be your managers or supervisors because a lot of times they are. Mm-hmm. I mean, all jokes aside, the people that are in charge can be some of the most toxic people.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And that's why I always say a lot of times, and this is just a rumor, I didn't make it up, but most of the time people leave their supervisors and managers, they don't leave the jobs.
Right.
And you usually run because it's just too toxic. And when you leave every day, you feel like you've worked 95 hours in an 8-hour shift.
Right. When I think of toxic coworkers and or managers, I can think back to some previous work experiences and toxic coworkers. When I think of toxic coworkers, I think of those that are always trying to push their responsibilities off on others, don't want to do their job, or always pretending that they have issues going on, either at home or at work, abusing time, taking off early, leaving early, or coming in late all the time, or always got some sort of family trauma or drama going on where they need time off. Those are some of the things I think of when I think of coworkers, and or running behind your back, talking about you to your manager, or sabotaging or trying to throw you under the bus,
right,
especially when it's not true.
Yeah.
Managers, when I think of toxic managers, I think of those micromanaging or helicopter managing, or giving you way more responsibilities and or duties than they're giving others, so not being fair. What's some other things you can think of when it comes to toxic coworkers, managers, people in the employment place?
So you hit on one that really bothers me, and that's the micromanager. So this is my theory. So you're supposed to hire people that are smart enough and capable of doing their jobs so that you don't have to do their jobs for them. So if you hire me to do my job and then you still think you need to do it for me, then why did you hire me?
Right. What does that say about you?
Yeah, because you're working my nerve, and I just feel like you hired me for my position because you thought I was capable of it and you thought I had the talent to do it. Yet you think you have more talent than me to complete my task. So you think you're going to drive me insane with it.
Right.
So what usually happens with that is that I usually just decide, I'm going to let you do that job and I'm not going to be a part of it, because, I mean, that's really unhealthy. Literally, all jokes aside, micromanaging somebody, you're trying to make them feel insecure and bothered. And And yes, and then to walk in every day and know that I'm going to be sitting somewhere with somebody breathing down my neck, I'm just not going to be able to do that.
Right. I can't even stand people literally standing over me or behind me. And I'm one of those people that I'm going to give 110 or 150% anyway.
Exactly.
So I don't need you standing over me and watching me. I'm going to always do my best, because if I sign my name on it or I did it, it's going to be something that I'm proud of. And well, if I didn't want to do it, I'm one of those people, I'm going to do it or I'm going to do it right. Or I'm not going to do it at all. I'm not gray. I'm black or white. Either I'm going to do it or I'm not going to do it at all. So don't stand over me. Don't micromanage me. You don't have to check on me on my time. Always, did you check in for lunch? Did you clock out for lunch? Did you take your break? Well, where have you been? I mean, like you said, if you hire someone
to do a job,
if you hired them, you must have felt that they were sufficient and capable of doing all of these things that were required of them, or otherwise, why the hell did you even hire them? If you feel like you have to micromanage somebody, that's the problem with you if you hire them.
Yeah, how exhausting though.
Yeah.
That has to be exhausting, because if you hire me, I'm going to tell you, I'm a person that functions on tell me what to do and what you're looking for, and I'll get it done. And you don't even have to check on me. I guarantee you, I'm working on it and I'm going to get it done. But I cannot have anybody constantly looking over me or whatever. The jobs that I thrive on are the ones with least supervision for me.
Right, yeah.
Tell me what you want me to do, or tell me how it's been done. And then if I can come up with a way to do it better, then that's what I'll do. But I do not have to have you constantly reinforcing how to get things done.
Right. When I think of toxic coworkers and or managers, another thing that comes to mind are those managers that are constantly changing the requirements and or time frames or outcomes to make you feel inferior and or to make you feel insecure, or to just switch it up, or make you feel like you're not doing what you're supposed to. Because I've experienced that, and I've heard of other people experiencing that.
Yeah. Or the ones that take credit for everything. You do it all, but they're the ones that show up in the meetings like they've been working 95 days straight with no day off, and your name never gets mentioned. I've come up with lots of bright ideas, and it almost makes you not want to come up with the ideas when you're not when you're not getting any credit for it. So but I've had those managers, I've had ideas come up in meetings that I wasn't aware that my ideal had even went that far, and I'm sitting there like, that sure sounds familiar.
Yeah, so just not getting the recognition and acknowledgement that people deserve. Yes.
Exactly. And then a huge one, toxic coworkers or a toxic workplace environment. I did my dissertation on workplace bullying. And the thing about it was, we all assume that bullying happens on grade school level, and then it doesn't happen anymore.
No.
So I'm going to tell you from fact, that is very false. Every day, somebody is being bullied in their company.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, a lot of people don't speak on it. For one, they don't believe anybody will believe them. They don't know where to go to get assistance. Or they're scared to call it bullying.
Right.
And it's probably bullying, but you just don't want to say that's what it is, because that makes you feel some kind of way to have to tell somebody that somebody's bullying you.
Right. Especially as an adult.
Yes, as an adult. And I'm telling you, my dissertation was on workplace bullying in academics. So we're talking about people being bullied that have higher education.
Right.
They're in universities being professors, and they're being bullied in their roles, or they're not being promoted because of the basics. And we'll call the obvious elephant in the room, probably a lot of it because either they're a woman or they're a woman of color.
Race.
Yes. So I did. Exactly. And I did a lot of, and I was shocked, although I knew that it existed, to hear these women saying these things. It was almost heartbreaking, because you work so hard to get your career, and to find out that you're being held back really for no reason, because being a woman or being a woman of color is not reason enough for you not to get a promotion.
Right. I was just listening, I think on New Year's Eve, and somebody was speaking of, was it Taraji P? Something that she mentioned. I didn't see it, so I really can't quote per se on it, but to my knowledge, they were speaking something about her saying how women of color in the Hollywood industry not receiving
they're
the
not
same
paid fairly. Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's another form of toxic type of behavior towards people in that industry.
It is.
You know?
It is. And the thing about it is, she was speaking of it because she knows for a fact people that have played in movies that she's been in, she's gotten paid way less than them.
Right.
So I guess that would bother you to find out we both in this movie. I feel like we probably had about the same kind of role or the same impact.
Right.
But you hundreds of thousands of dollars richer from this movie than I am.
Here and I'm 100,000.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just not fair. So toxic behavior in the workplace is unfairness.
It
Or
is.
being treated wrong or being bullied.
It is.
And then when I think of another instance with coworkers, those that always want to play the role of the boss or trying to tell everybody what to do. Or,
too many chiefs and not enough Indians.
Oh. Yes, I can't stand those. I mean, that just really boils my blood. It's like, are you serious? If you want a management role, then by all means go apply for it.
But with that, I think people think they want manager roles, but trust me, you don't.
Correct.
You don't want those problems.
Right. But
I guarantee you rather have your role where at the end of the day, you're worried about just you and you only. You really don't want those manager roles.
Right. Because it's a lot of responsibility. But again, they want to play that role. Or the people that are you out on break. And oh my God, I used to hate that. You be at a corporation or a company and you're out on break, whether you're taking a smoke break or you're just having your lunch and you hear people talking about other people at the job. That would just really burn me up. Because again, you have those people that are gossiping about other people or talking about people, and people be like, well, how do you feel about it? Hey, they don't sign my check.
Yeah.
I'm here to do a job. So I'm not here to make friends and or talk about people. However, if I do create some friendships or associations here, by all means, I'm grateful. However, I'm not coming here for that. I've come to do a job. So when I'm sitting on a lunch break or on a break and I'm hearing people talk about other people, that's toxic. It really is. Because it makes a hostile work environment.
It does.
Or the people that are trying to get everybody to jump on the bandwagon to feel the way that they do about certain things at the job or a boss or an employee or something. I really don't like that. I feel like that's kind of toxic behavior as well. If you have those certain issues, don't try to recruit the other employees.
Don't go on a campaign.
Go to the sources that can assist you, whether it be upper level management, HR or something, or go talk to somebody in EAP or whatever, deal with your problems. But don't try to create this bandwagon of people and trying to roll up everybody into the same type of, role like, oh, we. No, it's you.
Right. Do you really want to resolve the issue, or do you like the attention it's given?
Yeah.
Like, really, do you want to resolve it? But a good thing that comes from this is actually another thing that we spoke of on the last week when we did the toxic traits is the boundaries.
Yes.
Because what creates a lot of problems in the workplace is managers not creating boundaries. So then you have some employees that know information that they should not know.
Correct.
And I stress that when I have managers in different departments, make sure that you're staying fair and consistent. And I always tell them, you know how you stay out of court? Stay fair and consistent. I always say, because let me tell you about Lorinda. If I go to court for your stupid shit, you're going with me.
Yes.
Because that's unfair that you get to make the mess and then I'm the person that goes to clean it up, even if I don't agree with it. So you're going with me.
Right.
But I will say that managers have to create those boundaries, because so many times they share stuff with employees that employees should not even know. And then you best believe those employees use it as a weapon.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so they're standing around discussing stuff that they shouldn't have ever known in the first place.
Right. I mean, I know that we probably could go on and on and on about toxic behaviors in the workplace and toxic coworkers and toxic managers. But again, those are the main things that I can think of. Unfairness in the workplace, people micromanaging, people trying to get people to jump on bandwagons with them and making a hostile environment, those that are taking credit for your job and or work, or not giving other people the credit for the jobs or work that they deserve. Are there any others that we can think of?
I just want to say, as an HR person, I just would tell you to, if you're in a position with the company and you really feel like it's unhealthy for you, you're in a hostile environment, you're in a toxic environment, you literally go home every night in tears or your head's hurting so bad that you could really just resign that day, please report it. I know people have their negative things about HR, and some people believe that HR is for the company, so they don't believe that you have their best interests in heart. I can't speak on behalf of all HR people, but I am an employee advocate HR person. So if you bring something to me, I'm going to do my darndest to try to figure out what's going on to resolve it. I promise you, I'm a person that will never ignore anything because I've been you. I've been that person that has been in a role, and I just wanted somebody to listen and help me and be honest and caring and sincere, and not someone that I'm just telling what's wrong and then they never do anything about it.
Right.
So if you're in these companies, your first step is your manager. Your second step is the manager over that manager, and then HR. And then your last step is to take it to EEOC or somewhere like that. But I will tell you, do not continue to work in an environment where you feel uncomfortable and you feel like it's toxic for you.
Right. So again, with toxic coworkers and or managers, think about those toxic traits we talked about last time: manipulative behavior, selfishness, gaslighting, negativity, people that are being controlling, judgmental, people not respecting your boundaries, arrogance, passive aggressive behaviors, lack of empathy, dishonesty, playing victims at work. They make you feel insecure or try to make you feel insecure, have a sense of entitlement at work.
Oh, yes.
Blaming you for things, or just the dysfunctional competition again, because that really does go on.
It does go on in the workplace because everybody's trying to get that promotion, and they will do it by all means
and will
necessary.
sabotage you.
Yes.
And make sure that you don't, or people that are criticizing you on your work all the time, or they have poor performance, and or again gossiping, or just those narcissistic behaviors at work. So all of those things are traits that we talked about last time, are very much appropriate red flags to look for when you're having relationships with coworkers and or managers, or in a workplace as well.
Yeah. Just remember, work is not going to be perfect every day, but it's also not the place where you should go and leave shedding tears every day. So just keep that in mind.
If you feel like that, it's time to find somewhere else, because again, you should never have to feel overwhelmed, stressed, and depressed with something that you spend so much time at. If your job, we spend at least 40 hours most of the time at a job. Sometimes if you work overtime or if you're on salary, you may spend more time there. It's not worth it. I mean, by no means, again, as I said before, am I telling anybody to quit your job.
Right.
Definitely want to have another job before you do, but I do want you to reach out to resources, whether it be upper management, HR, EAP, getting a therapist, or maybe trying to have some healthy conversations with others if they're affecting your mood and or your behaviors or your performances. But it's not worth your mental health and or physical health if you find that eventually you cannot deal with it. Sometimes we just can't. Sometimes you can't cope. Sometimes you've done everything you possibly could and there's just no way around it. Then sometimes you may have to consider other employment or other opportunities even within the organization or company, or move, to another position.
Right.
So
and
definitely.
Don't think that that's loyalty. Because I know a lot of people, they think that's loyalty by sticking with a company regardless of what type of effects they have on you. People literally have health problems because of dealing with companies that they probably should have walked away from. So please do not feel like that's a sense of loyalty. We have this thing where we think that being a ride or die is a sense of some type of achievement. It's not.
No,
it's not. So if something is not serving you, personal life, professional life, just do not deal with it. Know when it's time to walk away.
Right, because you will have some people that even think that, if I deal with and or take this, then they will promote me.
Acknowledge
me. They will acknowledge me, or they'll know.
And they won't.
Like you said, right or die. No, that's not how it works. If people are abusing you mentally or taking advantage of you or being very toxic in their way and dealing with you in the workplace, by all means, it's not healthy. Deal with it in whatever healthy way that you can. And if you can't resolve it, then remove yourself.
Yeah, because they won't acknowledge you. You just have more footprints on your back for more people stepping on you.
That's exactly what you do. You set yourself up for failure. You set yourself up to be walked over even more. So again, we could harp on this all day, but we won't. Again, we're trying to stay specific on certain topics each week during this toxic series for 2024. So until next time. Remember, lovely listeners, to surround yourself with people who lift you higher, because a bad system will beat a good person every time. A healthy environment is one where people feel respected and valued, and know that a positive work environment will help you accomplish your goals and find happiness in your careers. Stay hopeful
And stay curious.
Before we part ways, we invite you to share your own stories, thoughts, and reflections with us. Connect with us on social media, reach out through our website, or simply leave a comment on your preferred podcast platform. Feel free to leave us in voicemail at 816-607-1243 with any thoughts, concerns, or questions that you'd like shared on Lifing 101 or just answered or addressed. If you prefer to send us an email, feel free to do so by sending it to our website, lifing101pod.com, or send us an email to info@lifing101pod.com. Your insights and experiences enrich our shared understanding of this incredible journey we're all a part of. Please subscribe to this podcast and follow our website, lifing101pod.com, and find and follow us on your favorite social media platforms. Stay hopeful, stay curious, and keep embracing the vibrant, unpredictable, and awe-inspiring journey that we call life. Goodbye for now, and may your days be filled with endless wonder.